Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Joe Chaffee, S&S Storm Chasers on this Wednesday, July 20th. And I want to just start off a little differently here because we're getting close now to where the tropics in the Atlantic should start to wake up. And we're going to focus our attention out in the tropical Atlantic because we've had the last couple of runs of the GFS model in the longer range begin to show something coming off the African coast. And this is actually, in terms of timing, at the very end of July, because we're now into the week of July 25th. We start to see something that comes off the African coast. Now, I wouldn't focus specifically on whatever it does because, you know, at this stage of the game, obviously, models are not going to get anything close to being right. However, you know, the fact that it does have some sort of tropical system coming out and maybe even another wave behind it just kind of tells you that we're getting now into the time where the Atlantic should wake up. I think the more important feature to look at is the upper air wind conditions across the Atlantic. And I'm going to go close up here because you know, I've been pointing out from time to time over the last few weeks when I've looked at the tropical Atlantic is the wind shear pattern, which is totally different from what it was a year ago. So I'm just going to roll it back. You can see, in general, there are large areas across the tropical Atlantic and the northwestern Caribbean, and particularly the Gulf of Mexico, where wind shear is low. This is a huge difference from a year ago when we were in the El Nino pattern. The Gulf of Mexico, for example, is completely the opposite. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that something is going to develop there or it's imminent, but it is something to consider when you look at the upper air winds and whether they're going to be supportive for tropical systems. And it certainly appears to be the case that in areas like the Gulf of Mexico and in the tropical Atlantic, things are a lot different than what they were. And you can see here on this particular model the reflection of what is the tropical system that comes off the African coast. So that is something that we're going to be watching over the next couple of weeks and going into August and eventually into September as we start to get closer to the peak of hurricane season. Now let's go back home real quick and show you what's going to be happening here. We have this beautiful dry little air mass and this nice little high that's moving out. So you were going to start to see an increase in temperature and humidity beginning Thursday. The humidity is going to be slow to climb, but it will climb. And then we've got westerly winds ahead of a weather front on Friday, and that's going to mean for temperatures into the 90s and a chance for some showers and thunderstorms during Friday evening. And then that goes offshore, but the air behind this is not like the last air mass. The air behind this is hot, and we're going to be hot on Saturday and even hotter on Sunday into Monday until another front comes through here Monday evening. So I think Sunday into Monday we could see some areas with temperatures well up into the 90s. The century mark would not be a surprise. Then a chance for thunderstorms, you know, possibly Monday night into early Tuesday. And then looks like a little bit of drier air comes in. And by the way, speaking of drier air, I just want to back up here for a second. This is for Friday night and Saturday morning. We actually will see humidity levels drop a bit on Saturday. Even though temperatures will be in the 90s, the humidity is going to be coming down, as we will have a bit of a northerly flow at play here. So Saturday may be a hot day, but I think it's going to be not that uncomfortable. It'll start to turn more uncomfortable as we go into Sunday and Monday ahead of that next front. So let me just give it one check here real quick. I didn't look to see what the Storm Prediction Center was doing with regards to any threat for severe weather, and I haven't really given the guidance a whole lot of look. So let's say for Thursday, obviously there's no issue here, so no thunderstorms on Thursday. And Friday, okay, the Storm Prediction Center is putting New England, eastern New York, and parts of eastern Long Island at a slight risk for severe, with an area of marginal risk that goes back. So this kind of makes sense with that front approaching into hot and humid air for Friday. So Hey, enjoy your beautiful Wednesday here, blue sky, sunshine, and low humidity, and we'll keep you posted on the developments as the day goes on.